Hi, how'd it go? They did what? You did? I can't take any credit for that. I'm just so proud of you. You know, this is what life looks like when you're tapped into your authenticity and equally aligned with your intuition. Remember, Mom always taught us to trust our guts. You're listening to Hey Big Sister with me, Meg. There's a different way to run your life and your business. One that allows you to truly connect with people on a human level. No more icky sales, no more comparisonitis, just you taking mindful, intentional, messy action to create success that you can be proud of. Let this episode be your guide. For the next few minutes, open your mind to new possibilities. And don't forget to pour me a little grace. I'm just like you, except I picked up the mic and started talking about all the things that go on in both of our heads. If this episode hits home for you, it would mean the world to me to have you leave the podcast a 5-star rating and written review. Also, could you do me a favor and text the link to this episode onto 3 of your best friends? You know, I'm a real human behind this mic, and I actually want to connect with you. Click the show notes below to connect with me on social media. I would love if you sent me a DM with your takeaway from this episode. You are family now. Here we go. Hello and welcome back to Hey Big Sister. I am so happy to be with you, and today I want to talk about something that just lights me up and excites me so much, and I actually just taught a 4-week course on it with my friend Olivia, and it was called Mom to Money Magnet, and the course went so amazingly well, and what I think that we did a little different was that we also incorporated women in from the community who are moms who created their own streams of income, and they shared the how behind the scenes, what led them there. They shared a lot of tips and tricks to whatever industry that they were in. It was just so incredible to hear these women speak about what they built in, while they were also having babies, raising babies, and how they did it in limited amount of time in some cases, and how they really thought outside the box. It was just such an amazing opportunity to be part of. So we had other women who are kind of at the beginning of their journeys of creating their own businesses. And it was really fun to see them grow and get more in tune with what they want to put out into the world and different ways that they can do it, because a lot of times we hear or we see people talking online about like how to create more income, things like that. And it's often then followed up with, either the sale of a course or maybe a multi-level marketing. And that is something that works for some people, but it's not the only way to make money with a flexible schedule while you're raising a family at home. So this summer, Olivia and I decided to partner up and teach this together because we have both built businesses, from the pickup line, as Olivia had said last week during one of our calls. And we came together and we put this together kind of pretty quickly because we knew what we wanted to talk about and we knew how we wanted to do it, and we wanted to do it differently. We wanted to not only just use it as a way to grow our business, because that's what you see a lot. And I don't say that criticizing other people. I just say it as like, it's this like method that is taught in the online industry to just like sell these smaller things to then sell people on bigger things. And that is not why we created this. We kept the price low. We did it quickly, all the things, because we wanted to get the information into the hands of women so that they can create more freedom and flexibility in their lives. And Olivia is a single mom, and she is a solo parent. So she's parenting her children by herself while running multiple businesses. And she talks about a lot how it's really important for women to have their own income and to not be tied up in, being able to make financial decisions based on anybody else. And I feel passionate about that too. I think that many women have to make decisions based on, staying or leaving relationships because of money. And we don't want to see that. We want to see more women being able to live really authentic and true and healthy lives. And sometimes that requires finances. It's not just to, make more money. It is to live a life that feels really healthy and aligned with your values and your desires and lit up by doing something that you absolutely love. So we talked a lot about branding, content creation, getting clear on what you want out of your business, and all of the different options that you could do. We didn't obviously talk about all of the options, but we talked about so many. And then we also had women come on and share their experience on their entrepreneurial journey and how they built their businesses. And then they shared some of the back end things. They shared their inspiring stories. They shared their schedule tips. And it was just so incredible. So something that I really enjoyed learning about was UGC, which is user generated content. And in the online space, we are seeing a lot of companies move away from traditionally looking towards influencers to do this work. And we're seeing them move towards just buying content off of the average person. So a lot of people think the only way to make money online or from your social media is influencing. And they do not want to do that. They don't want to use their children on camera. They don't want to be in the photos, but they like creating content. They like putting videos together. So if that is you, then user-generated content is something that I really highly suggest you start to learn about, because there is so much content to be created for these companies that they do not have enough time, resources, or talent to do it. So they're outsourcing that. So we're not looking at, there might be big companies like Nordstrom or things like that, you looking for UGC, but I'm talking more about the direct-to-consumer brands, maybe even some of your local businesses, smaller, think a little bit smaller than like going straight to Nike. But these companies now, we have Twitter, we have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have their website, there's so much content to be created and they just don't have enough time. So if you want a presence on multiple sites, what's the best way to do it then? Just to buy the content from somebody. So UGC is something that is growing really, really rapidly, and it's an amazing way to make money at home while you are raising your kids. It is something that a lot of us are already doing. We're creating content, right? We're already posting on Instagram. We're already sharing about some of our favorite products. Why not make some money while you are doing it? So we met a few UGC creators, and they gave us some incredible resources for starting a portfolio. You can actually start a portfolio for UGC creation for free on Canva. It lives as a freestanding website. So it looks like when somebody uses that address, it looks like they're just going to your website, and it's filled with information about you, your portfolio of UGC work potentially, or you can just create some videos that might not have been purchased already and put them there to give different businesses an idea of your style and what what niche you might be in. So there's this big opportunity, especially for women over 40 who are creating content, because UGC is something that, more, I don't know the exact number, so I don't want to say that it's definitely more Gen Z, but I would guess that there is a higher amount of Gen Z in this space at the moment. So if you are like, oh, this is like, there's potential here for me, then I would definitely start looking into it, because one of our speakers that we had is over 50, or she's just had turned 50. She has teenage sons, and she wanted to be able to pay her mortgage in the UGC, like in the content creation, the money that she made from content creation. So she started this summer, and at the time the class was at the end of September, and she had just surpassed making that. So in 2 or 3 months, she had hit her first goal. And it's just so incredible that it can happen this quickly for people, and that it's this kind of like really new way to think about creating your own business and working with companies. It's also really fun because you get to potentially try out new products and share about them. And the thing is that then you don't have to then share on your personal page. You sell this to the business and they share it. So that's another thing that I see as resistance for, many people, is like, I don't want to be sharing on my page about this. I don't want people to think that I'm salesy. I don't want, so this is a great way to kind of, you don't have to do any of that. You just have to create it in your home during your time and then sell it to a company. So that was one of the ones that I really found super interesting. I actually am going to dabble in it myself and see what I can create and who I can partner with, because one thing about having a business that's like based on your brand and your personality, for me, is that sometimes the content creation I get bored. I get bored of myself. Like, I don't want to see any more pictures of myself. I don't want to make videos of myself. Like, I would just like love to do something fun and that didn't have to do necessarily with me personally. So that's something that I'm just trying to add more creatively into my portfolio and just like see what happens. And I will keep you guys updated. If you want to know, like, send me a DM about this and I will talk more about it and share the behind the scenes of what I'm doing. I'll probably share my portfolio when I get it done, because that has been a little bit where I have found like the resistance. I want that perfectionism. Like, I just want it to be perfect, so I didn't start it yet. And I keep saying like, just start. And if you are out there saying like, oh, that's me, like I wanted to start a podcast years ago, or I wanted to be an influencer years ago and I just didn't do it, I just feel like the UGC topic is just that next type thing, right? Like when we all heard about podcasts or started listening to them, we wanted to do it, but we didn't take action right away. So it's like, just take the step and try it out and see what happens. And so you're not like in 3 years regretting that you didn't take action sooner. So that was, again, like the thing that I was like really, really interested in. But then we also had coaches, we had copywriters, and it was just so amazing to see a lot of these women started because they wanted to be able to pick up their kids from school. They wanted to be able to not have to call a boss when their kids were homesick. So they started little by little, right? They just started to do a few newsletters for people. And then all of a sudden they have this whole business based on creating newsletters solely on MailChimp for really big name brands. So it was really inspiring to see how just following that desire, following that nudge led to this full-fledged business where now they're supporting, like teams are supporting them and they have employees and they're growing like incredible partnerships. So, it was just really exciting, invigorating, and it was really hopeful to see that there is so much potential out there and there's so many women that are cheering other women on. Like, you hear a lot of complaints in the coaching industry or in the online industry, like, oh, everything's behind a paywall. You have to, in order to like learn more about this, you have to pay tons of money. Like this course cost $497 and we had payment plans that stretched out and made it less than like, $200 a month. And while I completely understand, like that is certainly a significant investment, people left with so many tools to now start a business on their own that could make that investment back in a week. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. It was so, 2 UGC deals or 1 coaching client or 1 copywriting client. So it was very exciting to see that. And also it was really exciting to see how supportive these other women were of giving like so many of their tips and tricks and things that they paid a lot of money to learn or spent a lot of time learning, and they shared it with the women in the group. And they also talk a lot about this on social media. Like, people are giving a lot of free information away too. So, if you're not in the place to invest right now, that's okay. Find other women who are doing what you want to do and follow them. Get on their newsletter, like watch their example, learn from them, and you're going to be able to take action from there. And then you'll have money for the investment, and then you'll be able to just grow at an even more rapid pace. So I don't think everything requires an investment, but I think what you are essentially paying for is like saving time a lot of the times, just moving a little bit more quickly. And that's, that is a worthy investment, and it really has helped me along the way too. So, I never wanted to pigeonhole myself as just talking to moms. And that is why I've kind of stayed away from this topic for a long time. But I felt like this was right. This partnership with Olivia was right. And this timing was right, because we have had a lot of moms just reach out to us saying things like, how do you do it? But all of the information that we taught is applicable to anybody, right? We just wanted to bring a group of people who had similar schedules, similar, goals and desires, and structurally, what was going on in their lives was similar, because they're working. A lot of moms, a lot of stay-at-home moms are working with potentially less time, right? They don't have the time that I had as a single person. So when you join a lot of online courses, sometimes if you're buying from somebody who is not in the same stage of life that you are, I've learned from a lot of people who have no children, and it's been amazing and great. But it's sometimes nice to come together and also say yeah, when I was 28 and starting X, Y, and Z job, I was able to work until 8 or 9 o'clock at night every night, because that's what my schedule allowed. And now it looks a lot different. And, I just have to squeeze things in a different way. And having that conversation with other people that are doing it can be really impactful, because they might say one thing and you're like, oh, I didn't look at it that way. And now I can kind of fit in my newsletter writing here, or X, Y, and Z. So we will be doing it again. We will also potentially be selling the workbook or the course Evergreen, so you can kind of do it on your own too. And I just really, really recommend it to anybody that has this desire on their heart, even if they want to start a side hustle, because you don't have to go and just most of these women didn't just quit their jobs and go full force into their business. Many of them had something working on the side, and then it grew into an amazing full-time business where then they were employing other people. It's something, again, that I'm so passionate about, because being able to see an avenue of entrepreneurship and going after it just saved me. Honestly, I could not work in an office setting again. I just can't, I couldn't do it. My soul felt sucked from me. And even when I did it part-time for a local college, actually the college that I went to, I loved it. It was exciting to get out of the house and be creative and connect with people. But it's I'm just not the type of person. I don't know if it's my personality or ADHD or wherever I am in my life right now. I don't want to answer to anybody. And I answer to enough people throughout my day in my family. I want to have complete control over my schedule, my creativity, who I work with, what I say and stand for. And entrepreneurship has allowed me to do that. And this was just seeing, 30 plus other women live their lives like that, and how it has created so much excitement and contentment and joy in their lives was just really, really exciting. So I'm happy that you let me share this with you today, and I would love to connect with you more on this topic. And if you ever need any ideas, we made a list of 100 ways to make money as a stay-at-home mom, just to kind of like jolt your creativity and get you thinking about different ways that you can bring more money in and create that, financial freedom that some people are looking for. So thank you for once again joining me on today's podcast. I hope to hear from you soon. And if this resonated with you or impacted you, I would love for you to share it on social media and tag me so we can connect and I can thank you. I will talk to you soon. Before you go, do me a favor and leave a 5-star rating and written review. The more we connect, the more the world is connected. As I love to say to all of my groups and my clients, rising tides lift all boats. See you next week.